stepping over there. All right. All right, so check it out, right? All right. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is your daily go getimism number 931 for April 21st, 2017. All right, I'm out here in Delaware City. I never knew that there was a place called Delaware City in Delaware, but that's where we are right now. And I came out here to watch my big sister, do her thing in Zumba. She's a Zumba instructor, and she just became certified. So I just got finished watching her do her thing, and I was just kicking it. I ain't gonna pray. I ain't gonna hold you. So I said, well, look, let me go out here and do my daily go getimism before the sun goes down, because I didn't really want to do it too late. But anyway, check it out, y'all. So today, almost night, I want to talk to y'all about when you become your parents even though you didn't mean to be. It happens to a lot of us. You have to kind of ask yourself the question, why did we become our parents even when we may not have liked some of the things that our parents did? You know, when we grow up. Oh, by the way, speaking of, hold up. Speaking of which, I came out here with my parents today, my mom and my dad, together again. They're not together in marriage. Now, we're not having none of that no more. but I was originally coming out here with my dad. We was rolling together. And then my mom called me like, listen, I want to go. Plus your sister's pressuring me, you know what I mean? She's saying, yo, you got to come watch me do my thing. So we came out here as a family, you know, the support family. And nothing is really more important than that. Anyway, like, uh-oh, my uncle rolling up? Yeah, it is my uncle rolling up. All right, cool. So, like I said, you know, sometimes we become our parents even though we don't mean to become our parents. Like, we just do. It's one of those things that happen. And the funny thing about it is, sometimes when we growing up, we teenagers, we're rebelling and all of that, we promise ourselves that we're never going to be anything like our parents. Even though our parents may have raised us in a good way. But as we start getting older and we start to understand life a little bit more, start having children of our own, and we realize, look, my uncle behind the camera trying to distract me, but it's all good. As we get older, we start having children of our own, we start to realize, like, there are some fundamental things that our parents may have instilled in us that are good things. We may not have looked at them as good when we were growing up because we wanted to do our thing. Like, we didn't want to come in early. We didn't want to have a curfew. We didn't want to follow rules. We may not have wanted to go to school. We may not have wanted to do our homework. We may not have wanted to have respect for things, like respect for our elders, respect for education, respect for life. You know what I'm saying? And these are the things that our parents teach us, and we're not always prepared to really submit to that. But as we get older, we start doing things that are similar to our parents, even though today, even to this day, we may not fully agree with them, but we see that somehow the genetics start kicking in, the hereditary information starts kicking in, and then it's sort of like just going back to what you're familiar with. It's really, really easy to gravitate towards what you already know than to try to forge something ahead. That's not to say that you're not original. It's not to say that that you can't pioneer something different. Because when it all really comes down to it, you are a product of both of your parents. That's whether you like them or whether you don't. Whether you were raised with them, raised directly by them or not. That genetic information, that energy, and somehow it creeps in. People who grew up without, like let's say you grew up without your dad in your life, and somewhere along the line, you know, one of your aunts, uncles, or whatever, they'll tell you, yo, you are just like him. You know, even if y'all don't look alike, they'll tell you your ways and actions are directly like your parents. You know what I mean? Like your dad or whatever. But what it really all comes down to is this, you know, you're gonna pick up on the right ways and the wrong ways to do things. You're gonna pick up on the right things to do and the wrong things to do, and automatically you're gonna submit to those things. You're gonna gravitate to those things. You're gonna make sure that you do those things. And like I said, even if you don't totally agree with them, even to this day, you go with what you know. You go with what's familiar. Unfortunately, sometimes that can be a bad thing. It can be a bad thing in that, suppose your parents were abusive. Suppose they were alcoholics or drug addicts. Suppose they were criminals. You know, one of the things that a lot of children that were born in the 80s have to deal with is that was the crack era. So, to be quite honestly, a lot of us are dealing with a lot of crack babies that grew up. Doesn't mean that just because you started off one way that you have to end up that way, or that you have to continue that. And that's one thing that we have to really remember. But sometimes we have so much contempt for the way that we were raised, or contempt for where we came from, that we try our hardest to remove ourselves from wherever our origin is. And I don't really think that that's a good thing to do. The reason I don't think that that's a good thing to do is that everybody has some good and bad in them. You know, you can't reduce a drug addict to just being a drug addict. A crackhead to just being a crackhead. A dope fiend to just being a dope fiend. Remember, they were something else before they became addicted to drugs, before they started partying, before they started believing in people that took them down the wrong road. Every drug addict is really, I mean, we see the end result of somebody that's on drugs, but we don't always take into consideration what happened to them before. Anyway, so when you try to distance yourself away from whatever your parents were, just remember that they were somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's friend, somebody's aunt, somebody's uncle, somebody's brother, somebody's sister, somebody's co-worker. They had a life and they still are a person. So, you don't have to try to totally distance yourself away from whatever your parents were, because there's some shame there, whatever. And don't always allow people to influence you about, your father did this, your mom did this, she wasn't this, he wasn't that. Nah, it ain't about all of that. You're 23 chromosomes of both. 23 chromosomes of your mother, 23 chromosomes of your father. And that puts 46 chromosomes of you. And you have the potential to be as good as they are or as bad as they are. You can be worse than they are, or you can be better than they are. But the choice is yours, man. You know what I mean? You're going to be like your parents no matter what. So you might as well pick the best part of them. Get to know your peoples if they're still alive. Rest in peace to all of those who have lost their parents right now. Hopefully you drain the swamp as far as the good information that they were able to offer you when they were alive. And for those of y'all who have parents that are alive and y'all are separated from them, estranged from them, don't let it be like that. Don't let the way that started or continued, don't let it end that way. Because believe me, you'll regret it. Alright, so that's that. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, at the end of the day, you're going to be like your parents, even if you don't want to be like your parents. And I know some of y'all watching this like, man, go ahead with all of that. So ain't nobody trying to hear that I'm going to be like her or I'm going to be like him. Or, yeah, I'm going to be like this part of him, or I'm going to be like that part of her. It's not always up to you to pick and choose, but you will be like them in some kind of way with your old crazy ass. The Daily Go Getterism show is every single day, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call in number 319-527-6199. blogtalkradio.com/Sun752. Peace. I got to go back in here and watch this Zumba. So let me get back in here and support my peoples before they find out that I dipped out. I holla. You know what I'm saying? I holla. Alright. Oh, man. Getting this swamp, you know what I'm saying?